what up, guys? It's your boy, Ro Brooks, actor, author, entrepreneur, producer, and talent manager, and you're listening to the one and only Still Toking with.
Hey everyone, this is Rich Ramon, and you're listening to Still Toking with. Yeah.
Hi, this is Maurice LaMarche, and that name will mean nothing to you, nor the sound of my voice, unless I become the brain from TV's Pinky in the Brain, or Calculon, the star of all my circuits from Futurama. Oh, Lord, there's a bottle, so from Futurama. And you are listening to this, and you are listening to Still Toking with on the Dorkening Podcast Network.
So come on, hey. Step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, hey. Follow us to the new revolution. Come on, hey. Step it off, break it down and lose it. Come on, hey. Follow us to the new revolution.
Oh, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another kick-ass episode of Still Toking with. Yeah, you know who I am. So, whatever. But
Tuesday or Wednesday?
There it is, the voice in my head. It's Wednesday, mister. So, let's bring in the man with the flash, Jeffrey.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for trusting me with a ridiculously handsome young actor that I won't say anything inappropriate today.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but we could try anyways.
No, his manager is a dear friend of mine, Ro Brooks, so I have to be a good boy.
Well,
for the most part.
So, that voice in my head, as always.
Jeff. Hey, happy Wednesday. I love doing the show on Hump Day. Because then tomorrow the week's short. You know?
and I love humping on show day, but you know.
Yeah, well, you know.
And he keeps that short.
Yeah, he keeps that short too. Yeah, no comment there, you know. I'm looking forward to talking with this younger dude. You know, and looking some stuff up. You know, I was trying to find some dirt on this guy, but I think he's squeaky fucking clean, and that irks me.
That irks me, he says.
You know, so but anyway, you know, let's bring him in. Nyell, welcome to the show.
How you guys doing?
We're doing well.
Thank you for having me. Really.
I really dig the background. Where are you? That wonderful background behind you.
I'm actually at a beautiful building that's relatively close to where I live, but it's sort of like a community building.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He's being very secretive. Oh, good.
Yes.
He doesn't want to tell us he's actually in Ro's basement.
Right.
No, I don't think Ro has a basement like that. But
you know, but yeah, no, there's some nice wood behind you though.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You trust me with this beautiful like that. That's amazing.
I was trying to set you up, Mr. Mark.
All right, here you go. And he's got some great wood in front of him too. See, this is what you do.
Oh, jeez.
Nyell, we really are going to ask you some good questions. I promise.
Yes.
Yeah. It might take a half hour or so, but we'll get there.
We're being silly. We're being silly.
So,
let me. So, I got started really young as an actor and in show business, et cetera, et cetera. Where was your beginnings of being in professional show business? How far back? How old were you when you like, okay, here I am, show business, let's work?
Yeah. You know, it's hard to pin because honestly, I've always been in love with this craft, acting, movies, and you know, it's something I kind of, when I look back at it, it's something that I feel like chose me in a way rather than me choosing it. But ever since I can remember, I've always loved acting. especially the movies. You know, it's just such a powerful medium, and you know, it's magical. It's truly something out of this world, and having the opportunity to be in this industry and work and you know, do what I do, you know, with such passion and love. I'm so lucky, incredibly lucky.
All right, so I'll change the question. How old were you when you started either taking lessons or because I can see how this hour is going to go. He's not going to give us any real answers to anything. He wants to be a man of mystery.
I kind of really started getting into acting, I want to say right after high school. You know, I was about 20. You know, I did my first movie, 59 Seconds. I was about, I want to say like 20.
Well, how did you get cast in your first film? Because 20 is very young for someone to get a movie. Good for you.
Yeah. It was quite a fight. I'll never forget that. Actually, it was through Backstage magazine. And
our friends out there, Backstage.
Shout out to Backstage.
Is and has been for decades and decades and decades.
Yeah.
A place where actors go to find out what's casting, live theater and film, and you just sort of look through it and go, is there anything in this for me today? And so I'm happy Backstage.
Now they have an app.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Of course. And I just showed you how old I am, leafing through pieces of paper that no longer exist. Thank you, Nyell.
Yeah.
I know you're young, but you know, doesn't mean I'm old. Unfortunately, it does mean I'm old. But anyway, Backstage. I interrupted your wonderful story. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I was doing various modeling gigs and commercials and stuff like that in the beginning. And I got an opportunity to play a lead role in a movie called 59 Seconds. And it was such a beautiful experience. It really, the whole auditioning process, right? The whole interviewing process of the movie is really what forged my skills and honestly my understanding of the, you know, intricacies of, you know, what it goes into being casted for a part, preparing for a part, all of that. And it came down to I was neck and neck with this other guy, and they had me do this crazy crying scene on camera, and I just I did not hold back. And I guess they liked me after that.
For our friends who are watching and listening, you've mentioned I was cast in commercials, I was cast in this, but there has to be did you get an agent? Did you get a manager? What was your process? Yeah. I'm asked, you know, all these years later, how did you break through? How come you became what you've become? So Nyell, how did you break through? How did you get booked? What was the beginning of that for you?
The beginning, well, you know, I didn't have an agent. I didn't have a manager. I just was lone wolf out there, just kind of finding my own opportunities, and that's the one that really came through for me. And coincidentally, that's what led me to getting an agent and a manager after everything was said and done.
Did you ever do any theater when you were in school, or?
Yes. I did a little theater. I did a play. I played MC Hammer in a play in 8th grade.
I could see that, though. I could see that.
I can too.
And yeah, you know, I came out on stage, and it was a crazy experience. And yeah, that really was my first kind of like stage experience, playing MC Hammer in a school play. It was like a made up play, basically, about pop culture, and you know, we were going through all the years of, like, you know, various artists and significant things that happened within the decade, and you know, MC Hammer was was thrown in there somehow, and they thought that's the guy. So and then, you know, of course, after that, I've done, you know, a lot of off Broadway things, and you know, I've really, as an actor, you know, it's just so important that you kind of have experience in both worlds, because
Absolutely.
as similar as they are radically different in many ways. But for someone like me, I just really fell in love with film and cinema, really.
So did you spend some significant time in New York City acting?
Yeah. I'm from New Jersey, so
I'm from Brooklyn.
And I would be there, almost every day, every weekend, just going to auditions, acting class, and finding my way. I snuck inside a Broadway play one time, and
Good for you.
yeah, it was a crazy story. Like I forget. Yeah, okay. It was some play. I believe it was. Okay, yeah, I believe it was The Lion King, and I remember walking down 42nd Street, and the theater was like right off that street right there. Turned down the corner, and I saw this limo pull up, and the lead actors, they all came out at once out of this limo, and I was just like awestruck, starstruck, and I was like, oh my God, I could just see myself, doing that one day. And they walked in through the back entrance, and something in me was just like devilish. And so I just decided to follow them, and play along like I was like part of the cast. And I ended up getting past the security. I don't know how this happened. We got past the security, and it led back into another alleyway that went towards the stage. And I remember them going through the door, and there was another checkpoint where I guess they would present their theater cards and go inside the theater to the guy in the booth. And I was at the other end of the alley watching this, just kind of like planning my approach and breakthrough here. And I remember climbing the fire escape to hide up and like wait till the guy left his little station. And as soon as he did, I went down and slipped right past the doorway, and there was the main stage, and I saw all the actors, just like, it was just glorious, and yeah, I've never told anybody that story, but yeah, they were there rehearsing, and I remember the lead actor, for some reason, I think he saw me when I first was standing there, and he got out of the limo, and he saw me backstage. But in the midst of his rehearsal, in the middle of the scene, he was like doing a twirl, and he kind of saw me. He was like, "What are you doing here?" And yeah, so after that, I was just kind of like, "Wow, this is."
Did you have the urge to run out on stage?
Almost.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is it. This is my chance." And
hello, here I am.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time in New York, honing my craft, and getting the experience I needed. Eventually led me to LA, and I'm pretty much back and forth now. But
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Very cool.
This is going to sound like a flirtatious question, and I don't mean I'm being serious now. There had to have been a moment when you looked in the mirror and went, golly gee, I'm a whole lot better looking than everybody else. Because one has to own that as an actor. You have your body. This is your instrument. Was there a moment when you realized, well, I can do this because look at me?
Well,
Be honest now.
I thank God for everything I have in my life, including my body, everything. And I don't necessarily wake up and look in the mirror and think, I'm the shit. But, I appreciate very much, everything that I have and I have been given by God. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Because you have to. All of our good looks, talents, they're gifts. They're gifts of God. But if we don't recognize them and then develop them, they just sort of sit there. And you had the moment of clarity to realize, I've got talent, I've got incredible good looks, gift from God. Hey, let's do something with that.
And don't forget, I can sneak into places.
You know, it's
Nyell, when I was young, I did it too. Don't feel badly. I also snuck into theaters in New York, and I've sung on the stage of about 15 Broadway theaters. Doesn't mean I was ever in a show in any. Well, a few of them I was, but just to have the experience of hearing what my voice sounded like on that stage. Good for you. I see you got moxie. You know what that means? You know that expression means?
Moxie, that used to be a soda, didn't it?
It was, but basically, you got balls, is what it means. Back when you couldn't say out loud in flight company, you've got
listen.
You got spunk.
You gotta have balls in this game. You gotta have balls and unwavering belief, you know, and that's just how it goes, you know, and
our business is too tough without it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Power of positive thinking.
Well, I mean, let's just back up for a second. Nyell is Gaelic for champion, correct?
Yes,
so you know he's got balls. He's a champion.
And now we know he's Black Irish.
Black Irish. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know, I did my ancestry test not too long ago, and I came back like, I don't even know. There's over like 50 different things thrown in the mix.
Oh, a fucking mutt.
You're to Native American.
I was making a joke because the Black Irish are people with darker skin and dark hair who are Irish, as opposed to redheaded and light skin like I am. So I was making a little ethnic joke there, but no, I think it's wonderful that all the different parts of us ethnically.
Right.
Yeah. And, you know, that's actually, you mentioned earlier why I just go by Nyell. And, you know, the kind of person I want to represent, you know, not just as a man, but an artist, is someone universal, you know. And I think what my experience has brought me is, you know, especially being multiracial, you know, that I find connection in everything and in everyone. So being known by just the context of, you know, my first name is something special because, you know, I never really had the opportunity to know much of my background, you know, my father and, you know, where I truly come from. So it's been kind of like a mystery almost, but to me, going by Nyell allows me to sink in deeper to the true connections between humanity and culture and the world.
Wow.
Okay.
I get
it. What's on your driver's license?
Well, my last name, I was actually adopted by my stepfather when I was younger, and his last name is Segura. So that's the name that's on my driver's license, Nyell Segura. But I was born just Nyell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, that's what my mom named me. And
Segura's pretty cool too.
I'm gonna say props to the man that adopted you, because I did that myself. I adopted my wife's 3 children along with I had my own 3, but any man that can step in and be a father deserves the props, man. So much props to him.
That's beautiful, and you know, I love him endlessly for, you know, just doing that as a man. You know, that is something so heroic and so noble, and it's fortunate for me that someone made that choice and chose to love me and take me in that.
Right. And I think it helped guide you down a proper path in life.
Yeah.
You know, which is a hard thing to do sometimes.
Yeah.
How does your family feel about your being in show business?
Well, you know, my mom's a musician. So my family, I kind of come from that side of the family is musicians, artists. My grandmother's an artist. So it's kind of like, you know,
family heritage.
A little like family heritage going on there. My grandfather was a commercial director back in the day. He was, I don't know if you guys actually know. You remember that old Tootsie Pop commercial?
Yes.
How many licks does it take to get a Tootsie Pop? He was the illustrator and director for that.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
That is one of the most brilliant and most often played commercials in television history.
Yes.
It ran for like a couple of decades.
Oh, yeah.
And ask any baby boomer, all you have to say is Tootsie Pop. I know what you were talking about. As soon as you said Tootsie Pop, I knew the commercial. So
it's not just baby boomers. It ran that ran all the way through Gen X.
Oh, sure.
You know, and on occasion you can still see it. They will pop it up just randomly, just because.
Yeah.
My older grandson knows that commercial.
Yeah.
So hooray for your family. Yay.
Right? Definitely. Well, if I knew his family was so interesting, we could have had that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Jeff to shake his head.
Go ahead, now, you said your mom is a musician?
Yes, my mom plays the fiddle. You know, so
Really?
she's
cool.
She's real Irish, and
cool.
she's a traditional Irish fiddler, and she's in a band called Ground Plan, and they've got some really good songs and releases. Check them out on Spotify and Pandora and all of that.
Well, I will do that because I love the fiddle.
Give her another plug. What's the name of the band?
The name of the band is called Ground Plan. Yeah.
Ben's writing that down. Good.
So everybody out there, go look for that. Let's support these wonderful musicians.
Yes.
Well, you know, because we actually have musicians on the show from time to time, and they might be somebody to put on because that's right up your alley, Jeff. And I mean, I like the Irish music with the fiddle. It's really cool. I mean, I listen to everything, but you know, why did I just put my show notes away? The show ain't over, Ben. What are you doing? I was like, got another guest, gotta go. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we're back.
For those of the younger people who are watching and listening to us, so you've taken us through your process a little bit. How did you find yourself an agent? I know your manager, Ro Brooks, very, very well. How did you come across? Because folks, in our business, unless you have these kinds of people working with you, you don't get anywhere. How did you do that, Nyell?
Well, I was actually fortunate enough to be introduced to my incredible manager, Ro, and through a mutual friend. And he saw my work. He was, you know, really just blown away from the beginning, and I couldn't have been more excited and honored to be with such a great guy. And, you know, we've been rocking out ever since, and, you know, opportunities just keep coming in, and I wake up every day so thankful. You know, I'm getting ready to actually shoot a new movie coming up called Rush Week. It's literally like a crazy octane ride of a film that is kind of like a horror thriller. And
okay.
Yeah.
And is it about college rush week in a university? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't really get too much into it. But,
no, this is the kind of future projects. That's where you just dangle a little carrot.
Yeah.
Right. But you recently were in I Hear the Trees Whispering alongside of Bill Oberst Jr. and Larry Hankin.
Yes.
And you know, Larry's actually a friend of ours. How was that? I mean, he's a trip.
Yeah, that was an incredible project to be a part of. You know, every time stepping on set is just something of an unforgettable memory, and almost feels like a dream. And the story itself was, you know, something I gravitated to because I find myself as an actor really drawn to projects that allow me to discover something new about myself as an artist. And you know, I'm not really here as an actor to perform, but to remember. And that process has always allowed me to go deep into character and roles and find myself, you know, find pieces of myself that I never knew. You know, and that's what keeps pushing me as an artist.
Now, what's been your favorite role that you've done so far?
Oh gosh.
The one that touched you the most.
I think I want to say my funnest favorite role. I think it was the role I played on the Vampire Diaries, and I'll tell you what. I got to do a scene with an actor I really admire, and Nina Dobrev, is the actress, and she killed me. I was a victim of a vampire kill. You know, I was in there for about 2 episodes, but the way I was killed was kind of, you know, they had me up on these like strings and CGI like animatronics going on, and it was just such a fun shoot and so many good memories. We shot down in Atlanta, and yeah, I gotta say, like, that was one of the funnest shoots I've ever been on. And unfortunately, you know, I kind of die in all my roles, like all the characters I played. But
only right now, though.
You know,
you're just starting out, really. I mean, you know,
yeah,
they'll kill you until they don't want to.
You start out as roadkill, and eventually,
right?
You know, it kind of like close the book and it's done at the end of the day. But
right.
Now, you've also done soap opera work. You were on a show where I have a lot of our friends, Young and the Restless.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How did that come about for you?
That was another very interesting situation where
I'm hoping so.
Found that opportunity on Actors Access, and I submitted, and I was called in. Passed the first round of auditions. They called me back a second time, and I was lucky enough to get the part. And so I ended up playing a love interest on the show that kind of like comes in and you know, causes a little trouble. But yeah, that was such a great cast, wonderful opportunity. And I think, you know, the show is legendary in and of itself.
Yeah. And the people on it are legendary. And
of course, you know,
lucky to have friends there.
So much respect for those soap actors. The amount of lines of material you have to pick up like that, you know, just on the spot it can be overwhelming. But you know, that of course was another opportunity for me to hone my craft, and you know, I was just so grateful for that.
Can I ask you a question? Now, this may be an older guy question because I'm not a young up and coming actor. That was a long time. You're old. Oh, I hate when they call me. Yeah, I'm old. So, yeah, I'm an Yes, I am an So, being an I knew when I was not an that my friends in show business who were people of any kind of color or ethnicity other than, you know, white bread mayonnaise casting had trouble. They had trouble getting cast. A lot of people of color, whether it was African American or Latino or Asian or some kind of a mix, were only playing gangsters and they weren't allowed to play romantic leads, just how it was.
Yeah.
And now we're supposedly in more enlightened times in our business, supposedly, and you are multi-ethnic, so you don't fit into a particular mold, which as an actor is great. But for casting, I'm wondering, is that still a problem, or has that kind of problem for people of color gone away in acting? I'm talking about, not in the world. In the world, we know it's still a problem, but in our business, I'm asking.
Yeah. And I know exactly what you mean, you know, because we at the end of the day, what we bring to the audition is it's got to be ours. It's got to be something sacred from our wellspring of creativity. And what they may be looking for, you know, you never really know. And I don't think it's so much as what they're looking for, but showing them what they're missing. You know, that's always been my philosophy when it comes to auditions. And yeah, I've had a lot of trouble, you know, initially, you know, just fitting into certain categories, niches and identities, races. And, you know, at times it's been really hard for me to cope with that, you know, and knowing that, you know, a lot of roles go to stereotypical scenarios, but it's definitely changing. It's definitely, you know, the world is changing every single day. You know, people are becoming more connected and understanding of, you know, who they are, and we don't see in black and white, you know. But for me, being raised multiculturally and just growing up around so many different various kinds and walks of life, it's never really been a mental challenge for me, but I've always been aware that this is also the other side of things too, you know. So if I have been affected by it, I've never let it get me, so to speak, you know. I've never let it stop me, because I know what I can bring to a role and a character, and simply, you know, that's honestly what no one else can do. No one else can bring what you bring. That's the beauty in your uniqueness, you know, and what makes you set apart from the rest.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you had never had to have one of those "look, motherfucker" moments.
Nah, I didn't say that. You know,
all right.
If he, you know, was to ever like make that the final decision, but no, you know, I just know it's part of life, you know, and people are at their own intervals of growth when it comes to that, and you know, a role might not be right for me. That doesn't mean the next one isn't gonna be.
Right.
So that's how you got to move as an actor. I think in life in general, you know, you can't hold on to things. And, you know, when I finish my job at the end of the day, I'll leave it there. And
is there anything as an actor you won't do, like nudity or violence, or is there a part that's so dark that you don't want it? Or
yeah,
I'm throwing options, but just is there anything you won't do?
You know, I'm not necessarily opposed to going for something deep, raw,
full frontal.
You know, if
he said that, I didn't say that. He said that.
Oh my.
No. But you know, I think, you know, you got to have dignity in what you do as an artist. You know, and it's something you want to be proud of. That's gonna live forever. You know, what you do on there on the screen lives forever.
Right.
So
when I was a young actor, I turned, and I'm being serious here, I turned down parts that required nudity. I didn't feel comfortable with it, and I was in great shape. It wasn't that I didn't like how I looked. I just wasn't comfortable with it. Today, I probably wouldn't care with wisdom that come through the years.
Today, it really does not matter. I mean, like, everybody is, you know, I mean, the culture is so different, you know, honestly, when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's more or less like what you are really truly willing to embrace and live with at the end of the day as an actor. And,
I think a lot of that too depends on the context of the film, and really what's happening in the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if you know, I'm definitely not opposed to taking upon a role of such gravity that will allow me to be incredible in that part. And if that's something that's required, that's there's ways of working with that.
Right.
I don't know if y'all saw Nosferatu, but my guy, he did a full frontal in that scene,
and I have to, and I don't mean to hog. I just need 20 seconds to say those of you who are fans of mine, I did do in off Broadway the Greenwich Village Follies, and it required nudity, but it was funny nudity. It was musical comedy nudity. Jeffrey Mark tap dancing naked kind of nudity. No, seriously, very seriously. And
why are you putting images into people's heads tonight?
What the fuck? Tap that.
Tap that.
or bottom that if you're whatever, but no, just to make it clear, I'm not lying about my background. I did do one off-Broadway nudie musical thing, but I've never done it on film.
Right. I mean, I'm one of those that, I like things to be authentic, at least as much as possible. And if I'm watching a movie and it's a scene, you got, partners in bed, okay, they don't show anything, but then, oh crap, I'm late for work, and the guy gets up out of bed and he's still got his fucking underwear on.
Yeah, that's continuity.
That's not real to me.
Yeah, that's the continuity.
Get up and walk into the bathroom with your ass hanging out. I mean,
and that's like
because to me, then it's just not real.
Who's sleeping in their underwear? What guy's sleeping in their underwear at that point? That's
especially after having sex. Who puts their underwear on? Afterwards?
I do. I don't want to be in the wet spot.
Yeah. Hey, it's not that I'm not willing to show everything. Trust me, I'm proud of everything I got. So,
I've heard, yes.
That's not even an issue.
Mine wouldn't show up on camera.
I don't know if they're ready.
All right. How did we get so far off topic here?
Nyell. We've talked about all kinds of business. I'm taking this in different direction. We've talked about business stuff. Your personal life. Are you married? Do you have kids? What's for your fans out there? They want to know about you. So part of being on a talk show is talking about your personal. I don't mean what you do in bed stuff, but like, so are you single? What's
are you available?
I'm actually proud to announce that I just got engaged to my loving, beautiful fiance, and
congratulations.
No kids, but one day, hopefully.
Right.
And
wonderful.
Yeah. I'm such a lucky guy, and honestly, it's as an artist, and I'm sure all you guys know, being in an industry like this, it takes a lot of strength, love, and trust and dedication to either partners who are in this kind of field where you have to be one side completely committed to your craft and what you're doing, but on the other loving and there for your partner and spouse, like just as equally, and it takes.
Is your fiance in the business, or does she do something else?
She does something completely different, which I'm actually happy because I don't know if being with somebody like myself, another actor or artist or whatever, that's hard. That gets that can be a rough ride. For the
literally.
She understands the exigencies of what what our lives are like. That it's not a weekly paycheck, and it's Well, as long as she understands that, and I trust that you have a good eye for a good person.
Well, she's got the good eye, obviously, but she's good on my eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're about to say that's one of the most egotistical things I've ever heard. Obviously, she's got a good eye because look at me.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, you you've done nothing but complimenting since we started the show.
But aside from the acting life and the love life, my truest passion actually comes from health and wellness and fitness, which I was a personal trainer for a long time. I've always grown up playing sports. I was an athlete. I played basketball, high school, college. So, being in that world and that athletic world of competition and understanding our physiology and body, like all of that helped me become an actor. Coincidentally.
Well, you're 6'3", right?
Yeah. So I was fortunate this year enough to start my very first business company called Nyell, which is a health and wellness company.
What a great name.
Yes, thank you. And I'm so
tell us
excited
about it,
because the company's mission obviously is to provide the world, everybody, man and woman, child, the very best natural ingredients and formulas for focusing on anti-aging and all around health and wellness and nutrition. And I've always been an advocate of that. I can remember as a kid, my grandmother introducing me to vitamins, and my mom always cooking me great, healthy meals. And that's how I've kind of grew up and stayed with throughout all my life. And then now having the opportunity to create products like that is another dream come true. And right now the business is growing and starting out, but I'm looking to bring this to the whole world and just.
So anti-aging, what the hell were you 30 years ago?
I was gonna say, send me some potions, man. I need to reverse the curve.
Yeah, I got you.
But in all seriousness, Nyell is something that I couldn't find to put in the show notes. So where can people find out more about your business? Do you have a website? Is there?
Yeah.
Can you want to give it a plug?
Yeah, they can check out nywellwellness.com, and there's also TikTok, Instagram, and we have a showcase of 5 products right now that we just launched. The 2 main products, the hero products, we call Emperor and Empress. Emperor is basically the ultimate male formula. So what it's going to do is stimulate hormone growth, cellular function, vitality, everything you want as a man to dominate and live your best life. And
will it raise the dead?
Yeah.
Is this a pill?
It will raise the dead. But nothing's ever dead.
I'm asking for a friend,
Yeah, of course.
Nyell, is this a pill or a salve? What is the product?
This is a capsule. Yeah, it's a blended formula that I created with all natural ingredients, crafted the very finest and the very best herbs put together to help your body flourish and kind of the world we live in sadly a very toxic world, and what we do to our bodies, what we put in our bodies, what we eat, drink, the air we breathe, we all have to be very considerate of that and give our bodies the very best fighting chance it can have at a beautiful, fulfilled life. And those are the exact things I want to bring to humanity and people all around the world with these products.
Wow.
You need a marketer, because I did a lot of research and that never came up.
No, that's what I said, because I did the same thing when I put the show notes together. I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, if you search nywellwellness.com, I'm pretty sure that'll pop up. But
now it will.
We're working out the tweaks, working out the fine tunings of that. But we're gonna have a product launch coming up very soon as well. And,
you know what? Something like Nyell Wellness could be a good sponsor for a show like this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, hey.
Just saying.
I'd love to talk with you about that.
We'll have to talk. You never know where it could go. So,
especially if you give products to 3 older men.
I promise
You know, well,
you.
my company was going to be oh well too late.
Oh well, too late.
Yeah. And the counter version of that is Empress, which is
Right.
the formula for women, which pretty much is the same thing, you know, and brings back that youth, vitality, and Empress energy and everything we need. And, you know, together, you know, once our bodies are healthy, our minds, our spirits, and all those things are aligned, we can really start to make a difference in the world.
Now, I don't want to pry, and you don't have to answer this, but I'm curious. What line of work is your fiance in?
She actually works in finance.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
She's a CFO of a medical company, and she's absolutely
Okay, nice. Okay.
at her job and what she does. And you know, she inspires me every day because she's actually a leader in her field and company as well. And you know, being around that kind of individual really pushes you to step your own game up in a lot of ways.
Right.
Right. Well, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the opposites do attract. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you know, and which is, you know, exactly my pursuit in this industry as well. You know, it's just to be the greatest actor I can be and move hearts and shake screens, big screens.
When you do your product launch,
I just feel so grateful for, you know, the opportunity to do that.
When you do your product launch, Nyell, if it's on the West Coast, let me know. I will attend, and if I attend, that means that my publicist will publicize it. So, you know, work with me here. Let's make your launch huge. He's staring at me like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. If you have a product launch,
I think he lost us.
Lost you guys. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think he froze up a little bit on his end.
Okay. So what I was saying, can you hear me now, Nyell?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. What I was saying was when you do a product launch, if there's an event on the West Coast, invite me. I'm on the West. I'm in Palm Springs.
Oh, you're in Palm Springs? Okay.
Yeah, invite me.
We got to talk. We got to sit down and talk.
I would love
that
to.
would be a great opportunity. I would love to. Of course.
You know. And Jeff and I are on the other side of the country. We're in Boston. Or
south of Boston?
South of Boston. So
okay. Yeah. My Boston man. Yeah, that's you know, right up the way here. You know, I'm from Jersey, so that's like
right. Unless you're talking hockey, then we can't be friends.
Yeah, unless we're talking, you know.
So Nyell, right now you're in Jersey right now, Nyell, or are you?
I'm actually in Jersey right now.
Okay.
Well, that explains why he's freezing up over there. It's all the smog over Jersey.
Oh man. I mean, that's why they call it the dirty Jersey. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're nowhere near Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Do you know where Morristown is?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah,
I love Morristown.
Yeah.
I used to do events in Morristown at the Armory.
Oh, get out of here! Wow.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I did that. I did that for 3 or 4 years. I was down there.
Yeah.
And I've performed there, so yeah, we all know it.
Oh, you performed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful downtown. It's absolutely gorgeous there.
Yeah, and the weather's beautiful here now. Spring is flourishing, trees are blooming, flowers, and I think that's the part I miss most about being on the East Coast is you know, the seasons. But you know, come winter, my ass is out of here. I cannot do those winters. Yeah, let me tell you.
No, they've been pretty mild as of late.
Yeah. That's another thing. Winters just seem to keep getting more and more mild. I don't know what that is.
Nyell, we got lots of people. We have lots of people watch this show. Yeah. Have we covered? Is there anything about your career that you'd like your fans out there who are watching to know that we have not covered?
Well, I just want to let them know to get ready because I'm about to bring the heat to the screen. And every role I step into is a part of my soul and a part of my dream to bring forth and inspire audiences and people. And that's, something I can't do without you and the people who are there to receive that and watch that. And I'm thankful for all my fans. I'm thankful for everybody who believes in me, my team, and my wonderful manager, my wonderful agent. Shout out to Sovereign Talent. Shout out to Ro. And shout out to you guys, for putting on this show. This is incredible. What you guys do. You guys are so talented, so incredible. And I've had a wonderful time tonight. I can't wait to come back here and talk. And
what would your dream role be?
God,
right now?
My dream role. I want to say Batman.
Batman. I didn't see that one coming. Okay.
I didn't see that one coming either.
I did. I can absolutely see it. I'm looking at some of the pictures you're modeling and everything. Absolutely. I can absolutely see it. And here's my wish for you, Nyell, that you learn so much and you're in show business so long that you play Othello someday.
Oh, I'd love to. I would love to.
Yeah.
What a great, classic, of course. It's just.
You're way too young now, but when you start to age a little bit, although if you keep taking your own product, you may never age.
Right.
Yeah. And you guys will certainly start aging backwards. So I gotta
that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Hey, man, if I could remember yesterday, it'd be a bonus.
Hey.
It fits with the shirt that I'm wearing,
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Oh, Christ.
No, I wish for you to have I'm 51 years in show business now. I wish that for you.
Thank you. Bless you. That's very sweet, and I appreciate that. I really do.
I'll have to write that down on a piece of paper because in 51 years I won't be here, and neither will the other two of you. No. And maybe I don't know if we start taking a supplement. Who knows? Yeah. We could be 140, but
you guys, the way things are going, man, we gonna be living for a long time. Trust me.
I'm gonna. If that movie Resurrected becomes real life,
Exactly, and that's why it's just so exciting. The things that are happening in terms of health and wellness and the availability for these products and medicines and natural alternatives and herbs are just so. We have everything at our fingertips in this day and age, and it's such a wonderful time to be alive. It really is.
And who could be a better spokesperson or look at him than you? You just radiate good health.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I am kind of like the face of the brand, I guess you would say.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would hope so.
That. Yep.
I gotta walk what I talk. So
I'll tell you, putting your face on a brand is the best thing you can do for your brand.
Yeah.
Well,
think about it.
I know, but there's certain times that I kind of wish we went a little bit different.
Well, yeah, I do too. Jeff and I did that. This show is just a very small portion of what we do. We actually wrote a novel series, and we put ourselves as the main characters in the novel series. Then it turned into a comic book series, and then a short TV series, and now into animation. But our faces are on everything. Everything that we brand, our faces on. Our hot sauce has our faces on it.
Ooh, I got to try some of that.
Everywhere we go, it's like, hey, you're that dude on that cover of that. Oh, that's that's us.
Yeah.
Nyell, don't hold your breath. I'm a co-host here, and I've gotten no hot sauce or any coffee from the sponsor. So
well, we don't get
as far as that goes, Mr.
Yeah.
Mark. I still am waiting for a book.
Yes, I owe these.
Oh, here we go.
No, I do. I owe these gentlemen wanted copies of a book I wrote called the Lucy Book, and they are coming at you very soon.
You never mentioned that you wanted hot sauce. All you had to do was ask.
I'll send you some hot sauce.
Yeah, I'll send you
Let me get a copy of that.
I'll send Nyell a bottle too.
Right?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, we'll all have to do a kind
Yeah.
of
And Nyell, when you and I meet in person, you'll pick out which of my books you want, and I'll autograph one for you.
Well, I'm gonna need an autograph for each one. So.
Nice.
I hope you don't mind flexing your biceps for that, and I'll make sure you can have each book.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. We'll send.
That's not even right, man. That's not even right.
Hey,
there's your nudity.
Yeah, look at him, Jeff.
Hey, not bad for a 60-year-old, right?
Hey, 60.
There you go.
I still got it.
Yes, you do, my friend.
Yeah. I work with wood all day. Real wood.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What? I'm supposed to say I worked out with wood all day, but it wasn't real? Come on.
Hey,
so we only have a few minutes left with this amazing guest. So I just want to let our viewers and our listeners know, make sure you check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, to find out more about this amazing guest, Nyell. The only thing that wasn't in the show notes was his website for his wellness, which is
NyellWellness.com.
NyellWellness.com. So make sure you check that out. You could be an emperor or an empress.
Yes, you can.
I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait until he comes out with the champion.
Yes, that's the one I want. Champion.
Oh wait, no, the champion would be more like the little blue pill, wouldn't it?
No, well, that's not going to be necessary anymore once you get an emperor.
Ah, great.
Okay.
I'll have to
I'm
look
going to
outside,
need
make sure
more
the wind's
information, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look outside, make sure the wind's not blowing before I go out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, but in all seriousness, we only have a few minutes left because we do have to let Nyell get back to his real life. So, Mr. Mark, any last questions for our amazing guest?
They've been baiting me, thinking I'm going to ask you something stupid like, how large is your erection? I'm not going to do that.
He's going to ask you how big your feet are.
No, I've already done my research.
A couple frames.
I've already done my research. I know how big his feet are. Your manager, Robrooks, and I have been friends for many years. Give him my love because you're probably going to talk to him before I do.
Yeah.
And you're a good guest on these shows, so do more of them. It's a great way for your fans to get to know you.
I'd love to. Yeah, this has been such an incredible time. You guys are the best. I love the energy and
not bad for some old dudes, huh?
You guys are the OGs here, and with that rightful title and respect, comes with the territory. So I appreciate all of you.
Excellent.
So I have two last questions.
Ooh.
Okay. My standard. Are you a cat guy or a dog guy?
Oh man, I would have to say both because I grew up with tons of dogs and cats. I mean, I don't know. Cats.
Do you have any now?
Dogs are, dogs are always love you.
Okay. Well, I got both. So I always ask that question because it tells me a lot about somebody.
Yeah.
And my second question is, what the fuck is in that Solo cup?
That's the that's the mystery of the night. But let's just call it the movie star juice.
So it's water.
Yeah.
How about we call it Nyell nectar?
Ooh, that might be the next product. I like that.
All right, 10%. I want 10%.
Well,
I don't know how that long.
Nyell, I really think you'll enjoy doing that. I know how much I love making Jeff juice. So.
Oh, jeez. Nyell nectar. I like it.
It's so tasty too.
On set.
Oh my God. I'm fucking crying. That was good.
That's my job. That's my job.
Right. But Nyell Nectar could be the new perfume or cologne for men. Just saying, product line doesn't always have to be.
Talking.
Right? Got to expand that brand. Expand the brand. Expand the brand. I usually don't ask a last question, but I'm going to tonight because you're, not really new to the industry, but newer. You're an what's your favorite color?
Orange.
Orange. There you go, fans.
Yeah. Orange.
Yeah. So when you see him, when you see him doing a signing or an event, make sure you bring something orange.
Yeah, definitely.
Nyell, I have one last thought for you. Nyell Nectar, face cream.
Ooh, you guys keep getting better and better. I'm gonna have to hire all of y'all. Damn.
I suppose that's better than lube.
My job here is done. Thank you so much.
Or jelly.
Right?
Let's not.
Yeah. We should stop the train right there.
Right. Yeah.
So on that note, folks, we're gonna go. So Nyell, when you interact with your fans or such on the social medias, where do you like to interact with them? Is it like a Facebook or Instagram?
I'm on Instagram, Nyell Verse. Like the Nyell Verse. Yeah, that's my Instagram, Nyell Verse. And I also have another Instagram, which is more of like kind of like a diary almost form, and it's called Superstar Nyell.
Okay. Excellent.
SUPA.
SUPA. Super. That's a Boston thing. Super.
That's a Boston thing. Super.
Right.
So they can check me out there.
Excellent.
Definitely.
I'm trying to find the damn buttons here.
There you go.
Mr. Jeffrey Marks.
Yes, sir. Find me on Facebook. My name, just as it says right there. On Instagram, it's Jeffrey Mark Showbiz. And I have another podcast I do every week called Jeffrey Mark Plays Ella, which is not an interview show. It's me playing the music of the great Ella Fitzgerald and giving you insider backstage stories about what went on to make the music. So look for me on platforms everywhere and here with these two wonderful men every week.
Well, there you go. Hef.
You notice I only have a first name too.
Yes.
What is veg? Veg.
It's Jozsef.
Oh. No.
I like that.
Jozsef.
I don't know if those F's got any closer together. It could be Jeep.
Yeah. So anyway, go to stilltoking.com or find us on Talking with the Dead on Facebook. I'm an old goat. I know I have an Instagram, but I can't for the life of me figure out how to get into it. See?
Don't get
seen it all, done it all, heard it all. I can't remember shit.
Oh, man. So like Jeff said, you can go to stilltoking.com. You can find out everything you want to know about us. Go to Toking with the Dead on Facebook. You'll see our upcoming appearances. I think our next appearance is in Monroeville, Pennsylvania for the Steel City Cannabis Convention, May 24th and 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yes,
I believe that's what it is.
25th, yeah, and or 25th and 26th.
No, 24th and 25th. I already changed my calendar.
It's Memorial Day weekend. That's all.
It's tomorrow for me already. And
I wanted to, for our followers and shit out there, go to our YouTube, check it out. There's a whole ton of shit on there. Still Token Productions. The
animation is there for free.
The animation is there for free.
Yeah,
we're getting a lot of good feedback on that. And go watch the live action that we pretend to be actors in.
Right. Nyell's cup is empty. I heard it hit the floor.
Yeah. Need a refill here.
So no, in all seriousness, folks,
I could go all night with you guys. You guys are great.
We want to thank Nyell for taking time out of his busy schedule to come on, chat, and teach us a little bit about himself. Not only is he good looking, as Jeffrey Marks would say, he's super fucking intelligent, which is, he's got the whole package, folks. So to all those producers out there that watch this show, you're a fool.
Right.
You're a fool.
I
Get him
learned
on.
some things I didn't want to.
Like how big his feet were. Yeah, we know. But to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people like us can come up here and do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Peace.
So come on, come